Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hello, everybody. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Hello, everybody. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please let me know. How is your cold? Right now, it's awesome. Like, it's all right. I have taken up some medicines as well. I don't think so. There should be any problems with today's class at any particular point of time, except if like the internet starts pissing us out. So that's a totally different scenario. We'll make sure that we are able to have a great time learning today. Okay, there shouldn't be any issues. In the meanwhile, can you guys let me know what have we studied in our previous class, guys? Can we revise about it once? What are the different things that we have studied in our previous class, guys? Can you guys let me know? What are the things that we have studied in our previous class, guys? Please let me know. So we studied about variables, we studied about the prince statement. Okay, that's great. And a lot. Okay, so these are the only two things that we had studied yesterday. So today we are going to continue from right over there. Today we are going to finish up with our variables. We are going to start off with our data types in Python, that is int, float, bool, strings. So this is all that we will be doing today. We'll try to make sure that we are able to complete it up. Okay. Hi sir, I'm not attend yesterday lecture, but I want certificate and I'm continuing lectures from today. Also, I watched yesterday's lecture. Sarthak, if you have, so for the very first day of our boot camp, we usually accept the attendance for that particular class till the end of the boot camp as well. Okay. So, but from today, only those students who are coming to the class live, and today I will be just randomly at any point of time just telling you, okay, this is where the attendance link is. I'll show you the attendance link for just like 5 seconds. I've already told you, you guys have to note down the time at which I've told you guys the attendance. You have to come back right over there. You have to complete the entire thing up. Okay, so please make sure that you guys are able to focus upon the class. If you are missing on the attendance, there is nothing that can be done from our end. So please, if you guys want the certificates, you will have to fill up the attendance live. Okay. Are we going to learn Python in the first few classes? Yes. The first 3 classes, that is the first day, second day, and the third day, we will be focusing upon Python. So do you work at Infosys? No, this is the DevTown's t-shirt. So if you guys want to see it, it is DevTown's t-shirt. It's a Okay, so like I said, we will be having the classes of Python for the first 3 days. Then we'll be starting off with NumPy. Then we'll be going towards pandas. After we have completed all that, we will be studying about the machine learning algorithms, all this kind of stuff. And once we have completed it, once we have completed the entire thing, then we'll be moving further with the project. Okay, so as simple as that. Are you guys able to understand that? Please do let me know. Are you an engineer yourself? Okay, so I think so I had introduced myself yesterday, but I think many of you must have not heard it. So I will just introduce myself once again. Okay, so my name is Shaurya. I'm right now the co-founder at DevTown. Along with Ashish Modi, he's also one of the founders. I have previously worked in companies such as Reliance, Jio, Fastnell, Google, and other startups as well. I've worked as a data analyst, a data scientist, a full stack engineer, machine learning engineer, a software engineer previously. I've also been a part of Google, where I used to go on behalf of Google via the Explore ML program to various colleges across India, where I had to teach topics like data science, machine learning, AI, full stack, web development, Android development to various students at different universities on behalf of Google. So that is a brief introduction about me. Okay, I hope that that would be more than sufficient for you guys. Okay. Okay, so can we start with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Can we start with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Uh, so Samriddhi, if you are going on my LinkedIn account, I have, I think so, updated my LinkedIn as well. The link to my LinkedIn account is down in the description of the video itself. I think so I posted all these things on LinkedIn. So let me just see my profile. Yeah, so I think so I have to update it, but yeah, most of the stuff I have posted it out on LinkedIn as well. That is my LinkedIn. If you guys want to connect with me, it will be great. The link for that is also there in the description itself. Okay, so let us start with our today's class, guys. We'll be continuing from where we had left yesterday. I'll be providing you guys the link to the notes once again because I know 90% of you will be asking me the exact same question that, sir, where is the notes of this particular class? So I will just pin it up in the live chat right over here. So the notes of this particular class is on like the live chat, as you're able to see. Okay, we have pinned it up right over there. So you can like get the link for the notes from right over here itself. Okay, it's my first day. Can you tell me how to fill the attendance form, Kiran? I think so. You should have visited the first day of the class before coming to this particular class. We cannot waste our time on that. So let's get started. Okay, so yesterday we had seen up till here. The next particular topic that we are going to deal is with multiple assignment operator. Okay, this is a very important topic, okay, that you should be learning about, and this is something that we will be later on recapping when we'll be learning about tuples as well. So this is a very important thing, and this will also show you why people prefer to code in Python. Okay, one of the best advantages of a language like Python is that it is very easy to understand. The learning curve is not that much. Anybody can learn Python at any point of time, and it helps us to concise our code. So the same thing that you want to do, that you will take like 10 lines or 15 lines to do it in C++ or Python, there's the exact same thing you can do it in C++ or Java. The exact same thing can do it in Python in just like 3 or 4 lines of code itself. So it helps you to make your code very concise. Okay, it helps you to shorten your code a lot. Okay, there's not a lot to type in Python. One of the greatest examples of this is the multiple assignment operator. Okay, multiple assignment operator. So right over here, as you are able to see, we are having height is equals to 3, length is equals to 6, and width is equals to 2. So we have created 3 different like variables, as you are able to see, named as height, length, and width. We have assigned some values to them. Okay, so the height is 3, length is 6, width is 2, and we are calculating the volume. Okay, we are calculating the volume as volume is equals to height into length into width. Okay, so I will just once again I'm just going to clarify this particular topic for those who have missed the day one attendance. Okay, for those people who have missed the day one attendance, I'm not going to repeat it. Please do not disturb the live chat. Okay, it is here for questions that what students are not able to understand. For attendance purpose, those who have missed day one's attendance, it is still open. We haven't closed it yet. Okay, so you can still, after this class, go back, watch the video, fill up the attendance for yesterday's class itself. Okay, but that is just for day one. Every single day, that is from day 2 to day 7, you will have to come to the class live. You will have to fill up the attendance form live itself. Okay, according to what I've told to you guys, the attendance form will be accepting responses up till 30 minutes after the end of the class. After that, even if you're filling up the form, that attendance is not counted except for day one. Okay, because I understand many of you must have left the attendance itself. That is why I'm reminding you guys, you can still fill up the attendance form for day one, and then you will be able to get the certificates. Okay, so I have already told you this. I'm not going to repeat it. Do not ask any bullshit questions after this. Let's focus upon the studies. Okay, so volume is equals to height into length into width, as you are able to see right over here. Okay, so we are calculating 3 into 6 into 2, that is 36. So as soon as I'm printing volume, you are able to see that we are getting 36 printed out. Okay, we are getting 36 printed out right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Great. So now this exact same thing where we had assigned three different values to three different variables itself can be done in a single line of code as well. It can be done in a single line of code as well. So right over here, as you are able to see, we are having height comma length comma width is equals to 3 comma 6 comma 2. Okay, so instead of writing, so this is the exact same thing. Okay, instead of writing it in three separate lines, what I'm doing is chigst height comma like dth width comma length comma width, length length comma width is equals to 3 comma 6 comma 2. Okay, this is the exact same thing. Okay, this is the exact same thing. We are having height 3, 6 and 2. Okay, the exact same thing we have done down below as well. So we are having the height, so 3 will be assigned, 3 as a value will be assigned to height. Okay, 6 as a value will be assigned to length, and 2 as a value will be assigned to width. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. These both the lines have the exact same like answer, okay, as the exact same utilization itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know. Great. So as you're able to see this exact same thing, we can write it down in just 3 lines of code and we are getting the exact same answer, that is 36. Okay, we are getting the exact same answer, that is 36 right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Amazing, 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 guys. So this is called as multiple assignment operator. Okay, this is called as multiple assignment operator right over here. The next particular thing that we need to know about, right now we have learned about variables, we have learned about multiple assignment operator as well, but there are some rules that come into place when you are naming a variable. Okay, when you are naming a variable itself. Now these rules are something that you should be familiarizing yourself with. Now there are two things in a particular world. Okay, one is a particular rule. Okay, there are two things. Okay, rules and conventions. Now most of you might not be able to understand the difference between the two, so first I'm explaining the difference. Okay, rules and conventions. Now many of you might be knowing the difference between the two, what is the rule and what is the convention, what is the difference between the two, but let me like make you guys understand about it as well. Okay, so rules is basically something that you can get punished for. Okay, if you are breaking a rule, for example killing a person. Okay, killing a person is a particular rule. Okay, you cannot kill a person. If you are killing a person in that particular way, you will end up going to jail. Okay, if you are breaking a rule, okay, if you are breaking a rule, then you go to jail. Okay, that is how rules work. Okay, rules have some binding problem statements that are there. Okay, so if you break that rule, then you are going to jail. Okay, whereas convention, okay, so humans eat with their hands. Okay, this is a convention. Humans eat with hand. Now if you take a plate full of rice, put your mouth inside of that particular plate itself and start eating like a dog, okay, you are not going to go to jail. Okay, nobody is going to send you to jail itself. Okay, the convention is that humans use fork and spoon or maybe like their fingers to eat, but even if you are eating directly in their mouth as well, okay, even if you want to like just place your entire face into the entire bowl and start eating like a dog, okay, you are not going to get thrown into jail. The only thing that people will say about you is that he is not a human being, he is an animal. Okay, that is the only thing that the people will be saying about you, that you are an animal. Okay, you are not a human being. Okay, so that is the difference between a rule and a convention. Okay, if you are breaking a rule, you will get punished for it, but if you are breaking a convention, people will just think that you are a shitty like developer or something like that. Okay, so let's like try to understand. Okay, let's try to understand about this. There is that would be very easy as well. I don't think so you will be facing any problems. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. We'll be looking at like rules and conventions from a perspective of code as well. You don't have to worry about it. So right over here, first we are going to learn about some of the rules that are there. Okay. First we are going to learn about some of the rules that are there. So there are these 5 to 6 rules that you need to be familiarizing yourself while naming a variable. The rule 1 states that you should start a variable name with an alphabet or an underscore. So let me just like concise the first 4 points for you, okay, so that you are able to understand. The first 4 rules that are there, I will just show you an example so that you are able to understand that, okay. For example, you are having the variable name as rent, okay. Rent is your variable name, rent, that is your variable name. I will be dividing this into 2 parts. That is the first letter, that is the first part, and the rest of the word, okay, and the rest of the word that is there. Okay, so I'm dividing every single variable name that exists, that you can keep, into 2 separate parts. The first is the first letter, that is the initial letter of the variable name, and the second half is basically the rest of the variable name itself. Okay, so let us try to understand that. So your first letter of the variable name, okay, that can be small a to small z, okay, capital A to capital Z, or an underscore, okay, or an underscore, okay, not a hyphen, an underscore. These are the only 3 possibilities, okay, these are the only 3 possibilities that can be there. You cannot have anything else except this: small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and an underscore, okay. These are the only 3 things that you can keep as the first letter of your variable name, okay, first letter of your variable name. Secondly, for the rest of the variable name itself, for the rest of the part of the variable name, okay, you can have small a to small z, you can have capital A to capital Z, you can have underscore as well as you can have numbers 0 to 9, okay, you can have numbers as well, that is 0 to 9, okay. So the first letter you cannot have it as numbers, but the rest of the name or the rest of the variable name can contain numbers as well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Madhavan, you will be able to find the notes as the link that has been pinned in the live chat. Okay, there's a link that I have pinned in the live chat. You will be able to find the notes right over there. Okay, guys. Okay, so you cannot contain, so anywhere inside the entire name of the variable, you cannot contain special characters like ampersand, hash, hyphen, or like brackets, or like exclamation mark, or dollar mark, percentage mark. All these special characters, you cannot have it anywhere inside of your variable name. You cannot have special characters in your variable name, okay. So these are the first 4 rules that are there related to naming a variable. First rule, the first letter of the variable cannot contain any numbers. The first letter of a variable cannot contain any numbers, okay. The rest of the name of the variables can contain numbers, underscore, small a to z, capital A to Z, but they cannot contain special characters anywhere, okay. They cannot contain special character anywhere, okay. The next particular part that is there, the next particular rule is that variable names are case sensitive. Python itself is a case sensitive language, guys. So if you are writing small str or capital str or capital S small t capital R or capital S capital T small r, all these will be contained as separate or different, okay, different variable names. Okay, all these will be considered as different variables names, okay. Why is that the case, guys? Because Python is a case sensitive language, okay. Python is a case sensitive language, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. For all those asking about attendance, I've already told you guys how the attendance will be taken up. If you haven't listened to me yesterday, I'll just repeat anywhere in the middle of the video itself. I'll just be telling you guys for 1 second where the attendance link is. I'll show you the attendance link for 2 minutes, how to fill up the attendance. Then that is your responsibility. By 30 minutes after the end of the class, we'll be closing, like we will not be able to accept any more responses. If you are filling the attendance form after that, that is not going to get counted as your attendance. So for those who don't know how the attendance is going to take place, the only option that you are having is go and watch the day one video. Okay, without that you are not going to know how the attendance is going to be taken up. Okay, great. So let's move on from right over there. Okay, we have seen the first 5 rules. The 6th rule is that you cannot use a reserved keyword as a variable name. What do you mean by a reserved keyword, guys? Reserved keyword is basically something that has an already existing meaning in Python. Okay, for example, you cannot use print as a variable name in Python. Print already has a special meaning in Python itself. Okay, now you will tell, sir, we don't know all the keywords that are there in Python. You don't need to know it. As soon as the more that you will be practicing, the more type of keywords you will be getting yourself familiarizing with. Okay, so you will be having like keywords like for, dev, del, is, try, for, all these type of keywords will be there. And if you are trying to use them as a variable name, they will get highlighted. Okay, because these have a special value or special meaning in Python itself. So you cannot use a reserved keyword as a variable name. Now, like I said, all these 6 are rules. Okay, if you are breaking these rules, then you will get an error. Your code wouldn't work properly. Okay, your code wouldn't work properly. You would get an error right over there. Okay, so right over here, as you are able to see, these are some of the allowed variable names. So x, y, my Python, my underscore Python, underscore my underscore Python. So you can use underscores. Okay, you can use underscores, so you don't have to worry about it. My Python 7. These are all, okay, these are all like variable names that are there. Rana, Raz, yes, like I've done a lot of explanation right over here. Like I said, I like to take things from scratch. I don't imagine that the students know anything, so that anybody can attend these boot camps and learn about machine learning, AI, full stack, anything that they want to learn. I also find this very appalling that this is something very basic for me and I have to teach it every single day. So I also don't like it, but that is how things need to go. We need to take up the weakest link in our community to make sure that the community remains the strongest in the entire country. Okay, so always focus upon the weakest of the links and your community will always be the strongest. That is like the thing. Okay, of course I can just leave everything out and just start with deployment of machine learning models and nobody would even get the wind of what I'm speaking, and I don't want that. Okay, so please be I hope that you guys know all this. That's great for you, but if you know this, then help your teammates. Okay, those people who are there in the live chat, if they have any questions, answer them instead of wasting your time and my time as well on speaking something that is definitely not required. Okay, you could either keep up with your own business or you could put up a message helping students out in the community. Okay, so I know this, so I can help you out with this. Okay, this is something that I know, this is an additional thing that I know. Okay, you can also learn about this as well. Help people out. Okay, sometimes it's good to be selfish and sometimes it's just like a dick move to be selfish sometimes. So stop being a dick, try to help people out. Okay, so let's get started with that. So as you're able to see right over here, these are some variable names that are not allowed. Okay, for example, starting with a number. Okay, having a variable name that starts off as a number itself. So 7 my Python, that is a particular invalid variable name. Having a hyphen anywhere inside the variable name itself, that is something that is not that is breaking our rule. So again, this is not a valid variable name. Containing at a rate inside the variable name, again special character, we cannot have it. So again, not a not a valid variable name. Having a space inside the variable name, of course you cannot contain a space inside the variable name itself. Okay, using a reserved keyword, as you're able to see, for is a reserved keyword in Python and it is getting highlighted in purple for us. So that is also something that we cannot use. If we are running this particular lines of code, you will be able to see that the code wouldn't be running and will get an error at the end saying syntax error. Now, what do we mean by syntax? So it is still running. I don't know why. But what do we mean by syntax error? Okay, what do we mean by syntax? Just like in normal English, okay, whenever you are learning English at any point of time, you have grammar right over there. Okay, you have grammar, you have grammatical mistakes as well that you make. So those grammatical mistakes that you make, the same grammatical mistakes when you make it in programming sense. Okay, programming has a set of rules as well. Okay, just like in English, you have a set of rules governing the grammar of the language. The similar way in every single programming language, there's some set of rules that govern the grammar or govern the syntax of it. Is called a syntax in programming language of the entire language, of the entire programming language itself. Okay, so that is this thing. Okay, so right over here, you're not following those syntax rules. So it is giving you an error saying that you are having a syntax error, invalid syntax right over here. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. Let's move on from right over here, guys. Let's look at some of the like what were we studying previously, rules and conventions. Okay, now we have looked at some of the rules that are associated with it. Now we'll be looking at some of the conventions that are there. Okay, so looking at these conventions, you will be able to realize what is the difference between conventions and rules. Okay, now these conventions are made into such a way. So there's a concept within programmers, okay, that is very famous. I don't know if you guys know about it, but when you will be like entering into an industry itself, for example, when I started working with Reliance, that was my first job as a data analyst. So they told me one thing, okay, that there's an unsaid rule in the programming community. If I am looking at your code and anybody else's code inside the entire industry, okay, I shouldn't be able to differentiate. I shouldn't be able to tell that these two codes have been written by two separate people. It should feel as if the same person has written both the set of codes. Okay, that is a particular like convention that is there in the industry, in the programming industry itself. Okay, that no matter who is writing the code, there should be a set of conventions that they are following, so that when I look at two sets of code, it should feel as if the same person has written it. And two of those conventions that are there, I'm sharing those with you. If you're not following these conventions, your code will work absolutely fine. There'll be no issues with that. But any good programmer, after reading your code, will be able to tell that he's a noob. Okay, that you are a noob, you don't know about Python programming because you're not following these conventions. Is the exact same as just eating out of a bowl directly with your mouth. People will think that you are not a human being, you are an animal. The same thing goes on right over here as well. If you're not following these conventions, people will think that you are not a good Python programmer, you are just a noob right over there. Okay, so let us see these two like conventions that are there. Try to keep the name of the variables descriptive but short. Okay, so what, for example, let us say that you want to take up the height of a tree as a variable name. Okay, you are writing a particular code in which you have to take up the height of a tree. So what should be the variable name that you should use? Should it be height of a tree, okay, as the appropriate variable name, or for example right over here, height underscore of underscore the underscore tree? Now this is a very descriptive like variable name, but it is not short. Okay, this is a very descriptive variable name, but this is not short. Okay, you cannot use something like x or h. X and h is short. Although x and h is short, it is not descriptive enough. It is not able to tell us what it is measuring. So the appropriate variable name would be height or height underscore tree. These are the two appropriate variable names that you can use. Okay, height underscore tree or just height. Okay, so you want the variable names to be short but descriptive. The next particular thing that is there is the Pythonic way of naming the variables is to use all lowercase letters and underscores to separate the words. Okay, that is the Pythonic way of naming variable, guys. Okay, you have to use all lowercase letters. Okay, all lowercase letters, no uppercase characters anywhere inside the variable name, and separate the words inside the variable name with underscores. For example, height underscore of underscore the underscore tree, everything is in lowercase letters and separated by underscores. This is called as snake case. Okay, this is called as snake case. So people will be asking you in interviews that which type of casing should you utilize for writing Python variable names. So you should be prompt with the answer that is snake case itself. Okay, this is all that something that you should realize very soon. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand that? Please do let me know, guys. This is called as snake case. Okay, this is what you are going to use. Snake case means everything is in lowercase characters right over here, separated by underscores. So that is called as a snake case, guys. So the Pythonic way of naming a variable, all lowercase characters separated by underscores, that is the Pythonic way of naming the variable. So you're having my underscore height, my underscore lat, my underscore long. Okay, so that is one of the things. The second non-Pythonic way of naming the variables. Okay, although this will work. Okay, although all in capital my long, this is the camel case, so my lat right over here, all this will work. You will not get any kind of errors right over here. If I'm running this particular line of code, as you're able to see, I'm not getting any kind of error. It is running perfectly. But this is not the Pythonic way of naming a variable. Okay, anybody who is looking at your code will just understand that you are a noob. Okay, you don't know how to name a simple Python variable as well. Okay. Okay, the next particular thing that we need to work upon is overwriting the variable. Okay, the spelling is over, WRITING. So for those, I know 90% of you will be asking, sir, what is the spelling? So I'm highlighting the spelling right over here so that you are able to see. Okay, what is overwriting the variable? Right over here, first of all, I had written rent is equals to 1700. Later on, I have written rent is equals to 2000. Okay, so the earlier value that was there inside of rent. Okay, earlier on, we are having a box called as rent. It is a value of 1700 inside of it. Once we are replacing it with 2000, the 1700 gets lost in the memory. Okay, we are never able to get that 1700 back at any point of time. This is called as overwriting the variable. See, whatever topics that I'm teaching to you guys are from the perspective of interviews itself. These are some interview questions that are usually asked in Python when it comes to jobs and internships. So that is the reason why I've included this as well. It's not just about learning Python, but to get yourself ready for interviews as well. Okay, so this concept is called as overwriting the variable. It's very simple. Whenever a new value is assigned to a variable, the old one is forgotten. Okay, whenever the new value is assigned to a variable, the old one is forgotten, and that is called as overwriting the variable. Okay, for those who are still at the case itself, was snake. Okay, as in like a Python cobra or something like that. Snake case. Okay, as simple as that, guys. Okay, so this is called as overwriting the variable. Now, one more thing that you guys need to understand is about, is there some problem with the video? Somebody's asking the video is not proper. So how do we get the hard copy, by courier or by PDF? Candidate with name, how do we get the certificate? So you will get the certificate on the email ID that you had used to register for this particular bootcamp. That will be matched with your attendance and your project submission, and on the basis of that you will get the certificates on your email ID. Okay, great. So right over here, as you're able to see, the rent is 1700. I've increased the rent to 2000, so I've overwritten the rent as 2000 itself. Then I'm writing rent is equals to rent plus 700. So I'm increasing the rent by 700 rupees. So when I'm printing rent out right over here, I will get 2700. As simple as that. There's not a lot to talk about right over here. So what we are going to do right now is we can even write this out as rent plus is equals to 700. This is the exact same line as this. Both of them have the exact same meaning. So why does we not have camel case? The exact same question I can also ask you. Okay, why yo-yo, for example, if you are a male, why are you male? Like that's the same question. Like it is something that has been defined by the programming society in general for Python. For example, if you're moving to some other programming, for example, in Java, you'll be having camel casing, and C++, you'll be having something else. So that is the point. Like every community has come together and decided this. Okay, if you are trying to find the logic behind everything, I will suggest that you should take up chemistry. Then your life will be fucked up, because like chemistry has a like just illogical logics all over it. Okay, when I'm saying something, this is something that you have to understand. Okay, so it is something that has been taken up from the perspective of the entire programming community in general. Okay. Okay. So right over here, as you are able to see, we are having this particular line, rent is equals to rent plus 700. So we are incrementing the value of rent by 700 rupees. We can do the exact same thing without writing all this by just writing, okay, sorry, Control Z, by just writing rent plus is equals to 700. Okay, rent plus is equals to 700. So that is the point. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. We can replace this exact same line by writing it as rent plus is equals to 700. Now I've commented this line out by placing a hash in front of it. Okay, by placing a hash in front of this particular line of code, okay, you will be able to comment that particular line out. What do I mean by comment? Now that line is no longer a code. That is a normal English that is present right over there, that Python will ignore. This entire line Python will just ignore. Python won't execute this particular line of code. This is a comment. This is for the programmer's perspective itself. If you want to comment something for your own good, for referencing at a later point of time, you just have to place a hash in front of that line, and that line is now commented. Okay, Python won't run this particular line. So if I'm running this particular line of code again I will be getting the answer as 2700. Okay, again I will be getting the answer as 2700 right over here. Okay, so we are replacing this line by plus is equals to. We can use other assignment operators as well. For example, we can have rent is equal to rent minus 700. We can write it as rent minus is equals to 700. That will give us like 2000 minus 700, that is 1300 right over here. We can replace it as rent is equals to rent multiplied by 700. We can do it by multiplied equal to 700. So that will give us 2000 multiplied by 700. We can do it as rent is equal to rent divided by 700. Okay, we can put it up as rent divided by equal to 700. That is also something that we can do. So whatever operator that you want to use, you can use it right over here, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, one more thing, guys, related to the attendance. At any point of time, I can show you guys the attendance, but if you are leaving the class after that, okay, there might be a case where I'm showing two attendance on the same day. You have to fill both the attendance to get the attendance for that particular day itself. So for every single day, the method will be totally different. You don't know how many attendance, how many links, what are the different stuff that I will do with it. So if you feel that I've shown you the attendance and you leave the class, it might be the case that I will show another attendance at the end of the bootcamp as well. And only those students who have the attendance for both the forms will be able to get the certificates. So please, whenever I show the attendance, do not leave the class. Okay, otherwise don't come complaining back to me that, sir, I filled the attendance, you showed another attendance, and after that, like, what can I do? But this is something that I've done in the previous bootcamp. So I can do it in this bootcamp as well. Okay. Sir, is your team sending WhatsApp messages of your like boot camps and telling to forward it on 5 groups? Yes, like I've already said, DevTown is a non-profit organization. We do not charge anything for these boot camps. We do not charge anything for conducting these boot camps, not for the certificates, not for the teaching, nothing like that. Everything right over here is free. because DevTown is a non-profit organization, so we cannot invest our own. So I work as a software engineer as well. So after that, I come back home and then I take up these classes in the evening. So I cannot invest my money into this because, like, that's the case because DevTown is a non-profit. There's no profit involved right over here. That is the reason why we ask you guys to promote it within your own college, with your own friends, so that more and more students will be able to join us, and we'll be keep on like conducting these boot camps for free, giving you guys more number of certificates. That is the reason why somebody must have contacted you. But we are affiliated with only Microsoft and Google and no other company. Okay, so DevTown, Microsoft and Google, no other company will be calling you except that. If somebody is calling you, that is just a fraud message. Okay, so let's continue from right over there, guys. Okay, the next particular thing that we need to focus upon is the data types. Okay, up till here we have seen a lot of different kinds of data. For example, right over here we saw numbers 2000, 1700, all these kind of numbers that are there. We also saw a number that is quite not an integer. Okay, this is a decimal number. This is not an integer number right over here. 2.85714. This is not an integer. Okay, we have also seen some other type of data as well. For example, right over here, something in these quotation marks. Okay, this is not an integer. This is not a decimal number. This is just text. Okay, so all these different kinds of data that are there in Python, and we have categorized this data into different data types. The four main data types that we are going to study about is integer, floats, Boolean, as well as strings. So let us get started with learning about our very first very first data type, that is our integers and floats. Okay, so far the number that we have dealt with are mostly whole numbers or integers, but you must have noticed that there are also some other type of numbers that exist. Okay, for example, right over here, when you divide an integer by an integer, as you're able to see right over here, 3 divided by 2, both of them are integers. If I am dividing it right over here, we get an answer that isn't quite an integer. It is a decimal value, that is 1.5. Now this 1.5 is what we call as float or floating point number. We don't call it as a decimal number in Python. The technical term for this particular data type is float or floating point number. Okay, so are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Is Ashwarya from DevTown? Yes, Pranjal, she is from DevTown. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Why not double? Why not my name is Shaurya Sinha, and why not like Priyanshu Sinha? Okay, that's just the name that has been given to it. Getting into some like very non-logical questions. Okay, there are a lot of questions that you can ask. At least maintain a sense of IQ that you guys should be having in colleges. Okay, so ask me questions that are really like, when I feel watch these questions, I should be like, arey yaar, so smart students of mine are there. When I watch these questions, why float, why not double, why not decimal? Arey, what do you feel, man? That is just the definition. Okay, you guys don't take up chemistry at any point of time. You will be asking questions like, why ferrous? Why not iron? Why are we not calling it iron? Why are we calling it as ferrous? Ask better questions. Okay, so right over here, as you are able to see, we are going to look at some decimal point values as well. Okay, numbers with a decimal point such as 3.14 are called as floating point numbers. The full form of float is floating point numbers itself. Okay, note that even though the value 42 is an integer, okay, as you are able to see right over here, the value 42 is an integer, the value 42.0 will be a floating point number. Okay, the value 42 is a integer, but the value 42.0 will be a floating point number, guys. Okay, please remember this. Please remember this right over here. Okay, so right now what we are going to see is some examples. Just like we are having the print function in Python, that is we use to print something out to our screen. We are also having a type function in Python that basically tells you the data type of the object that you are looking at. Okay, so type of the object A. So A is a variable that we have created with a value of 3 inside of it. Okay, similarly B is also a variable, okay, that has 2.5 as a value inside of it. We are going to use the type function that basically points out to the data type of the object. So let us run this. The type of A is integer, that is int, and type of B is basically float, that is a floating point number. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So move on from right over here. Okay, the next particular thing is how can we convert an integer to a float and a float to an integer. These are the two things that we need to look at. Okay, we need to look at how can we convert an integer to a float and a float to an int. Okay, so right over here we are having 3. Okay, if you want to convert an integer, so 3 is an integer. Okay, if you want to convert this into float, what we have to do is we just have to write float in front of it and then write 3. Okay, so that will convert this into an float, and the answer that you'll be getting would be 3.0. So to convert an integer to a float, okay, to convert any kind of integer to a float, it will just add 0.0 at the end. That's it. Okay, to convert an integer to a float, it will just add 0.0 at the end. Similar to it, right over here, if we try to convert an float to an integer, okay, if we try to convert a float to an integer, it will just remove everything that is present after the decimal point. It is not rounding it off. Okay, it is truncating it. Okay, it is not rounding it off, it is truncating it. It will just remove everything after the decimal point. So it does not matter whether it is 28.1, 28.4, 28.10, 28.9, whatever be the case, the answer will always be 28. The answer would always be 28. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so let us run this particular 2 lines of code and let us see what their answers are. So let me run this particular lines of code, and as you are able to see, 3 as an integer got converted to a float, that is 3.0, and 28.9 as an float got converted to 28. Like I said, there is no fucking rounding off right over here. Okay, it is truncating it. It will just remove everything that is present after the decimal point. It is not rounding it off. Okay, we are just converting a float to an integer. That's it. Okay, do not confuse both the topics. There's no relationship between them. Okay, next particular thing that we need to understand is this fact. Okay, it's a very important fact that is currently being asked in like a lot of different interviews related to Python field itself. Most of the people who haven't attended any of our previous boot camps, and this is your first boot camp and you know Python, okay, I can guarantee you that you don't know this particular point, because this isn't something that will be taught to you in any course or something like that. I also didn't learn it from a course or something. I read a lot of books related to Python and whatever programming language that I'm studying, whatever technology that I'm learning right now. So I read a lot of books, and from those books I came to know about this particular point, and it was also asked to a lot of different students in the interviews as well. So this is a very important point. If you're not able to understand it, it's totally fine. Okay, you don't need to understand it, you just need to know the answer. Okay, in an interview, do you understand it or not, nobody fucking cares. If you are able to say the answers with the confidence that you are having, it's totally fine. So if you are not able to understand it, do not get more demotivated or something like that. Try to just remember the point. Okay, just remember the point. The point is very simple. Okay, floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Okay, that is the point. Okay, this is something that you need to just engrave it inside your head. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Okay, are you guys able to understand, like, remember this particular line? Floats is an approximation to the number they represent. Are you guys able to remember this particular line in your head? Please do let me know. Floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Now, once you have put this particular line, engraved it into your head itself, into your brain itself, then we can focus upon learning. Okay, what this particular thing means. Okay, floats are an approximation to the number they represent. If you are still not able to understand the point, you can look at this particular text on the screen. Okay, floats are an approximation to the number they represent, as simple as that. Okay, now let's come to the point itself. Floats can represent a very large range of numbers. Okay, so after a decimal point, there are up to 32 decimal points that you can write the number itself. So there's a lot of number that floats can be represented as. Okay, so let us try to understand it. What basically happens? First, let's see what happens right over here. So for example, if I'm writing a particular float as if 0.23, okay, this is a float that I'm creating. A is equals to 0.23. Inside of the memory of Python, this will be stored as a little bit greater than, a very small amount greater than 0.23. It is not exactly 0.23. It will be stored in the memory as 0.23 0.00000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000 This is just an example that behind the scenes, this 0.23 is stored as 0.23 itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Why this is happening, I will be letting you guys know at a later point of time. Okay, but are you guys able to see this? Okay, why this is happening, I will be letting you guys know right now. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you the attendance for today. Okay, if you are leaving the class, I'm not guaranteeing that there is no other attendance as well. Every day we can have like 2 to 3 attendance as well. So if you're leaving the class after giving you guys the attendance, and if I'm showing another attendance, your attendance for today will be lost. You will not be able to get the certificate. Okay, you will have 30 minutes after the end of the class to fill the attendance form up. Do not fill it right now. Okay, you will have 30 minutes at the end of the class, after the end of the class, to fill up the attendance form for today. Do not fill it right now. I'm telling you again and again. Right now I'm showing you the attendance. The attendance will be on my screen for 4 seconds. Okay, you will have to like note down the time at which I have shown you the attendance. Come back at a later point of time to check the attendance link, scan the QR code up and get your attendance. Okay, please do not fill up the attendance form right now. After the class is over, you will have 30 minutes to fill up the attendance form. Okay, I'm giving you guys a lot of time. 30 minutes is more than sufficient to fill up the form itself. Okay, so right now I'm showing you the attendance QR code for today. This is the QR code for today, guys. It will be on my screen for the next 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the attendance QR is gone from my screen. Right now we will again come back to studying. Okay, so let's try to understand this particular fact, guys. Why is this opening up again and again? Okay, so I have to close that up. Okay, so right now that we have seen that, okay, 0.23 is represented in the memory as 0.2300000000000123 or something like that. Okay, so why is this happening, guys? First of all, before like understanding why, we first need to confirm that, okay, is this happening or not? Because you cannot trust me. Okay, I could just say something like bullshitty and you will be like, acha, we need to trust this guy. How will you trust me? Okay, I need to prove that this is something that is happening. So let us try to understand. Okay, let us see a proof for this. Okay, let us go back right over here. What I've done right now is I have added 0.23 30 times. I can count the number of 0.23s right over here. Okay, you can count the number of 0.23s right over here. Okay, it is exactly 30. So what do you think? 0.23 added 30 times, what should be the answer, guys? 0.23 added 30 times, what should be the answer? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys let me know, guys? What should be the answer if 0.23 added 30 times? Guys, please do not be an idiot. This is a YouTube video. Those who are asking like for attendance, there are just 2 possibilities. Either you are so fucking dumb that you don't understand anything, or you were not listening to me. Okay, so you choose. If we are writing about attendance in the live chat, there are just 2 possibilities. You are not listening to me in that particular scenario. You shouldn't be getting the attendance link, or you are just too idiot. If you are just too idiot, then watch the video from the start once again. Okay, So let's continue from right over here. 6.9. Exactly. For me as well. 6.9 should be the case. Okay, 0.23 added 30 times is 6.9. So what I've done right over here is I'm checking. So using this particular operation, okay, it basically checks whether the left hand side, whether the LHS is equal to the RHS or not. Okay, the LHS is equal to the RHS or not. If it is equal, it will give true as the answer. If it is not equal, it will give false as the answer. Okay, so according to us, yes, 0.23 added 30 times, that is 6.9. On the right hand side, we are having 6.9. According to us, the answer should be true. According to us, the answer should be true. Okay. So if you are running this particular line, okay, if you are running this particular line of code, we are getting false as the answer. As you are able to see, you are getting false as the answer itself. Okay. So why is that the case? This is the case because 0.23 added 30 times is not exactly 6.9, but actually it is 6.900000000, and at the last you are having 6 right over here. Okay, are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. So why equal sign 2 times? That basically checks whether the left hand side is equal to the right hand side or not. Having just a normal equal to sign, that is an assignment operator. It assigns the value on the right hand side to the variable that is there on the left hand side. Okay, here you want to check whether the left hand side is equal to the right hand side or not. For that, you are having equal to symbol. Okay, so why is this happening? Okay, I added 0.2330 times. The answer should be 6.9. Why is this 6 getting added at the very end? Why is this coming at the very end? We need to understand that. Okay, we need to understand that, and that is because of this particular thing. In the memory, Python does not store 0.23 at 0.23. It stores it like this, and once you are adding this particular number, okay, 0.230000000123 30 times, this 123 gets added up as well. 123 plus 123 plus 123 30 times, and that basically gives you a bigger number. That basically gives you 6.90000000000, and this all gets added up to give you 6 at the very end. Okay, this also gets added up to give you 6 at the very end. Okay, that is the reason why you're getting a 6 right over here. Are you guys able to understand why we are able to get 6 right over here, guys? Because for Python, floats are an approximation to the number they represent. They are not the exact number itself. Are you guys able to understand this? Yes, we'll be discussing upon why does Python does this. Okay, now up till now, if you are able to understand, okay, where this 6 comes from, where this 1 to 3 comes from, now we'll try to understand why Python does this. Okay, why is Python treating floats as an approximation to the number they represent? Okay, the why this happens, the reason is extremely simple. There's something called as precision. Okay, for those who have studied mathematics in that 11th 12th standard, they should be familiar with the term precision. Okay, up till how many decimal places are you able to give me the answer up to? Okay, that is called as precision. Okay, the term precision basically means up till how many decimal places can you give me the perfect answer. Now, for example, if I'm having two particular variables, let's say that 0.23, okay, two particular values, 0.23 multiplied by 0.69. Okay, that is my particular calculation that we are having right over here. 0.23 multiplied by 0.69 right over here. Now, whatever is the calculation, let me just calculate it because I don't want to do it right now. So let me open up calculator. Let's take up 23 multiplied by 69. Enter. Shit. I will just do it right over here itself. 27, 18, 18, 20, 2. Then you are having 6, 12, 18, 1, 6, 12, 13, x 7, 8, 5, 1. So that is 0.1587. Okay, the final answer that comes to you is 0.1587. Okay, now the problem with this is if you didn't had something that is called as precision, then as you are using just 2 decimal points right over here, 2 deci, Okay, similarly right over here as well, it is 2 deci. So Python will only be able to give the answer up to 2 decimal points. So the answer for this particular equation would have been just 0.15. Okay, nothing more, nothing less, because you are not able to maintain the precision right over here. You are only able to do calculations that are up till 2 decimal points, nothing more or nothing less. To be able to fight with this particular problem, Python started saving its numbers a little bit greater than what they actually are. It's like a very minute difference. Okay, let's 0.23000000000123 multiplied by 0.69000000000123. So even though these two multiplications are there, okay, it is a very small change in the number itself. In the final number, it will be a very small change. The answer, but you will be able to get 0.1587000000000000 something something. Okay, so you are able to maintain the number of decimal points up till which you are able to provide an answer to. Okay, you are able to get a particular number, okay, up till the number of decimal points that you want. Okay, that is the major point right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? See, the point is very simple. Okay, what you want is that you want to have number of decimal points. Okay, you want to maintain the number of decimal points, the precision of your answers itself. You want to have as many number of decimal points that you can go up till. And that is the reason why they increase the number very slightly, so that they are able to provide you an answer up till that many number of decimal points itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. See, the classes are usually of 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, so the class will be going on. You will have to wait. Great. So that was the point that I was trying to make to you guys. In Python, okay, floats are an approximation to the number they represent. Okay. The next particular data type that we are going to learn is about bool, or the Boolean data type. Okay, so bool is the short form for Boolean. It is one of the most commonly used data type in Python. Bool is a short form for Boolean, which can have a value of either true or false. Most of you must have studied about Boolean values in your class 11th and 12th. Okay, these were your ones and zeros in your physics. Okay, the AND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, all these gates that you studied in Python during your 11th and 12th standard. That in that you are having ones and zeros. Okay, that was your Boolean values itself. Here in Python, we just referred one as true and zero as false. Okay, so we already have some understanding about the Boolean data type as well. Okay, to create a Boolean data type, it's extremely simple. Okay, Python awesome, the documentation bad, Python awesome is equals to true. Please try to remember that the T and F of true and false should be positive. Okay, the T and F of true and false should be positive, guys. Please do remember that. Okay, the next particular thing that we need to look at is comparison operators. Okay, comparison operators. Now what is comparison operators? Comparison operators compare different values to give you a Boolean result. Okay, for example, right over here we are comparing is 3 greater than 1. Okay, is 3 greater than 1? Yes, 3 is greater than 1. So it will return, this comparison operator of greater than will return to us true, that yes, true. That means 3 is greater than 1. Similar to that, we are having greater than equal to, we are having less than equal to, we are having equal to, we are having less than, we are having not equal to. Okay, so there are various different comparison operators that are there. For example, right over here is 3 not equal to 1. We are basically checking if the LHS is not equal to RHS. Yes, 3 is not equal to 1. So if I'm running this, it will give me the answer as true. If I'm checking whether the LHS is equal to the RHS or not, is 3 equal to 1 or not. So if we are trying to check that, of course 3 is not equal to 1, we are getting false as our answer. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So next particular thing is using, so we have learned about we have learned about comparison operators. So these are called as comparison operators, where we are comparing two values to give you a Boolean result. The next particular thing is called as logical operators. Your and or, these all gates, and or not gates that you have studied in physics. These are called as logical operators, guys. I don't think so I need to revise what is an and gate or an or gate or an or not gate. I hope that you guys remember that from your physics classes itself. This is something that everybody attending this bootcamp should be knowing. I don't think so that is something that we need to repeat. So when you are having an AND gate right over here, so you are having rent is equals to 1200. So let us copy this. Okay, we'll replace the term rent with its value. Okay, so we are having 1200 greater than 1000. Yes, 1200 is greater than 1000. So let us keep this as true. Okay, true, true. Okay, the second thing is 1200 is less than 2000. Is 1200 less than 2000? Yes, so that will also be true. So these were comparison operators. Now we have entered into the field of logical operators, guys. And gate is there on both the sides. You are having true, so the answer will be true as well. So we'll be having is affordable is true right over here. Okay, so let us confirm that. Let us run our code once again. So right over here, let's run this, and as you're able to see, we are getting true as the answer here as well. Now the same thing, if I'm putting it in a not gate, okay, I can just put this entire thing in a not gate right over here. Okay, so we know that the thing that is on the inside has the value of true. So what is not true? Not true is false. Using the not gate, we have converted it true to false. So if I'm running this again, you will be getting false as the answer. As simple as that. Okay, the attendance, you have to submit it at the end of today's class. Okay, after that you'll be having 30 minutes once the class is over, okay, to fill up the attendance form. If you are filling it before that, again you will not be able to get the attendance. If you are filling it after those 30 minutes have gone, you will not be able to get the attendance. Okay, great. So let's continue from right over there. Okay, so now that we have understood about our Boolean data types as well, okay, we need to understand about string data type. Now Python has another data type in its toolkit called as strings. Okay, why strings? Because just like you're having a string that is a thread of pearls, okay, a string of pearls. Strings is basically like a thread of characters that you are able to attach together. So right over here, as you are able to see, we are having print shape AI. So you can print a text, okay, a string using both double quotations as well as single quotation marks. Okay, you can use both of them, double quotations or single quotations, to create a string. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, you don't have to take up any preference or something like that. You can use both of them to create a string. Okay, the next particular thing is that see, if you have filled it right now, there's no issues. I'm just telling you guys, from tomorrow, keep this in mind. Okay, if today you have filled it up, do not worry about it. I can understand this is your first boot camp. There will be a lot of mistakes that you'll be making, but from tomorrow onwards, keep in mind that do not fill up the attendance in the class. Fill the attendance after the class. You will be having 30 minutes. Okay, whenever the class is ending, after that you have 30 minutes to fill the attendance form up. Okay. Okay, so right over here, a string can contain spaces, a string can contain special characters, a string can contain numbers, a string can contain capital letters, small letters, a string can contain anything that it wants. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so if I'm running this particular line of code right over here, you are able to see that it is working absolutely fine. We don't have any problems with this. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. But today's attendance needs to be filled within 30 minutes of the class. After that, I won't be taking in any attendance. Even if you're filling the form up, you are not going to get the certificates. Okay, please remember that. Today, after the end of today's class, you have 30 minutes to fill the attendance up. Okay. If you are taking checking the data type of Moto, as you are able to see right over here, you will be able to see that we are getting str. Okay, we are able to get str, that is the short form for strings. Okay, that is the short form for strings right over here. So we'll wait up till here. From this particular point of time, we'll continue it from tomorrow onwards itself. So yeah, we'll meet tomorrow once again, guys, and we'll continue it from right over there. Okay, tomorrow I think so there might be no classes tomorrow. Okay, there might be no class tomorrow. We'll be having the class day after tomorrow. So I'm telling to you guys once again right over here. Okay, so we might not have a class tomorrow. We'll be having the class day after tomorrow. So day after tomorrow, I hope to see you guys live with us on the class itself. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, and we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.